I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm laughing, guys. Honestly, please. If you check in some of my videos, I used to be very, very serious whenever about this one. It is funny that a mother celebrated her son with her last EBT money, and a fellow white fox is calling her out. Like, he's calling her out saying, why do you need to celebrate? Like, this is literally why, in fact, SNAP benefit should be banned forever. You know, the sweetest part of this is that it is not a black mom that celebrated her son. It is a white person. It is the white on white privilege. You have privilege, I have privilege. And then I went ahead to celebrate my child. And it's becoming a whole lot of problem for these said white folks. Like, for how long do these people keep backbiting themselves? Like, even if a white folks should actually see this particular video, why not just scroll past it and let black people do the reaction if there is anything called reaction? Now, it is through his own reaction that a lot of us are now dragging attention and are not saying that, okay, let's talk about this case. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. With that being said, let's watch. I'll be back with commentaries.
How do I feel about what?
How do you feel about the fact that yesterday we spent $27 to buy cupcakes for our son with our EBT so we could send them with him today to his ABA therapy office since his birthday's tomorrow?
Me? You want to know how I feel about knowing that some of my tax dollars went towards your son's birthday cupcakes? Cupcakes that he took to his ABA therapy so that he could celebrate himself and have other people celebrate him on his birthday? How do I feel about that? I feel fucking great about it. I feel amazing about that because I wouldn't want to deprive any child of something like that. I wouldn't want to deprive any child of being able to feel included and proud and celebratory of themselves. And I know how intertwined food and those kinds of milestones can be. Unfortunately, I'm not the shopping cart secret service. Whatever you put in your shopping cart for you and your family is no one's business but your own. And I don't know if you spending that $27 on those cupcakes meant that you had to sacrifice something for yourself and forego something that you might have wanted. But if that's the case, then I think that's really solid parenting. Because as parents, we often have to make those kinds of decisions and make those kinds of sacrifices. So again, if you're asking me, I think it's fucking great. And I hope your kid had the happiest birthday.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. You don't spend it right, okay? $27 worth of cupcakes, I'm going to argue you can buy flour, brown sugar, eggs, and butter to make that all at home for significantly less than $27. And she does this for rage bait. She starts her video off by saying, FYP check, how do you feel that I used my EBT to buy $27 worth of cupcakes? And everyone's like, I'm mad that you had to spend $27 on cupcakes. I'm mad because you used taxpayer money to buy something that is not nutritionally beneficial to your child. Like, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Even when I worked for Head Start, if you wanted to bring something for your child's birthday, it had to be healthy. And there was a list of nutritionally approved snacks that you can bring. And that's what you should have done for your kid. Honestly, be so for real. Mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November.
That is Neurodivergent Nate. In 2023, he posted a video letting folks know that he did have a special education degree and was working on his PhD, but the video he is referring to is this one.
Spent $27 to buy cupcakes for our son with our EBT so we could send them with him today to his ABA therapy office since his birthday's tomorrow.
So what have we come to as a society when we shame a mom for buying her kid a cupcake or cupcakes for his birthday? He says she should have baked them herself, but here is what he didn't think about. Those cupcakes were taken to her child's ABA therapy center. That is a licensed facility, and one that more than likely doesn't even allow homemade food. So, no, she wasn't being lazy. She was being a mom, and she was being a mama, doing her best to give her child a happy birthday within the rules that she had to follow. But then he says he doesn't feel bad about families that receive SNAP benefits. Like, really? That's where we're at now? The children of the parents that you taught, you're okay with them potentially losing their benefits to put food on the table. And I ain't here to change his mind. Clearly, it has been made up. But I do want to ask, is this really what you want your social media presence to stand for? Rage bait. Basically, like cruelty dressed up as commentary. Is this how you want to be remembered? Because right now, families are struggling. People are doing the best they can with what they've got. And most of us, we are only a few paychecks away from being in their shoes. So maybe it's time that we all remember what really matters. It's a little compassion. It's a little grace. It's allowing the $36 a year that the average taxpayer puts towards SNAP, which allows a family to put meals on their table, and maybe, just maybe, letting a kid enjoy a cupcake on his birthday without making it a debate. And lastly, the hate that you have towards people just trying to help you understand, it is uncalled for and it don't look good. I understand it's free speech. Trust me, I understand. So if that is the way that you want to be remembered, then there's nothing else to really say. But I do want to point out a couple of things. You even made a post saying that you came from money.
And if you have money, like my family did, not bragging, I'm just saying, it was the state of the fact of matter. Like, they paid buku bucks for bougie ass, like, behavior therapists to come to my school, to come to our home.
So it might be a little hard for you to understand what others are going through. But again, I go back to put yourself in their shoes. Lastly, let's not be this mean, okay?
To the 50 people that have made videos about me, I was actually too busy doing my dissertation for my PhD to watch your videos. Additionally, I don't listen to people that look like they need Ozempic, that look like they need to go to the dentist, the orthodontist, like they look like they need to see the dermatologist. So, sorry, even if I did watch your videos all the way through, I wasn't going to even take your advice.
Okay, bye.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. You don't spend it right.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. I watched that video through and through multiple times, just trying to find the humanity in all of it. And I just couldn't. I just could not find the humanity in any of it. The empathy, where is it? I mean, it's his birthday. They bought cupcakes for his birthday. And the crazy part about it is he didn't buy the cupcakes just for himself. He brought it so he can take it to his friends and they can celebrate and eat cupcakes with him. And so what? They bought it with EBT. You're talking about your tax dollars going to EBT. You don't care about your tax dollars funding the president's golf trips? Not for his birthday, by the way. He's just going just to go. What about the vice president's multiple vacations? At this point, I can't even count how many vacations he went on. You're not mad about that, but you get on this app talking about a kid buying cupcakes for his friends for his birthday. Like, please tell me, how do I have conversations with people like this? How do I have conversations with people who care more about people buying cupcakes for their child's birthday over the fact that their tax dollars are going to go fund wars? Then you go on about how you can make it cheaper. Listen, multiple times have I broke down the prices of things to make. And so I'm not going to do it here, but you're not going to make it cheaper by scratch. You're just not going to do it. You're not going to have the same quality. You're not going to have the same time that it took to make them. You don't know what this mother has to go through. And the one time of the year, this kid gets to celebrate something. You get on this app and you talk about how she should not have bought cupcakes for her kid. Like, what do you even say to these people? Y'all want to regulate food stamps more than y'all want to regulate pew-pews. Like, come on, man. They're freaking cupcakes. Meanwhile, your favorite billionaire just bought his son his third yacht for his birthday off the tax breaks that you are funding. When this is all said and done, I hope we don't forget the people and the way that they think, because I know I'm not going to forget. But let me know what you guys think. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. you don't spend it right.
It's always been interesting to me the way people talk about EBT like it's some sort of luxury item, like people are out here spending their food stamps on steak and champagne. That mom didn't buy cupcakes because she's irresponsible. She bought them because her kid had a birthday, and no kid deserves to feel less than because their family is struggling or because they are poor. Why don't you think poor people deserve cupcakes? Why do you think poor people don't deserve to have anything good or nice in their life? That's called love, not misuse. He then goes on to say he doesn't feel sorry for people losing EBT in November because they don't spend it right. Well, maybe the real reason he doesn't feel sorry is because he's never had to choose between bills and birthdays. He's never had to stretch $20 and try to turn that into something special. Bro, you're out here worried about cupcakes. What you should be worried about is your lack of empathy and compassion, because this can be a chance for character development for you, and I don't want you to pass that up. That being said, here's the truth. That mom didn't do anything wrong. She gave her child a happy memory, which is what your job is as a parent. And if that bothers you, you are definitely the problem. How she spent her benefits isn't the problem. How you're spending your energy judging poor people is definitely the problem. So I want to say happy birthday to that little boy, and shout out to all of the moms doing their best with very little and making it the most. You are the real MVPs.
So you mean to tell me that this woman right here took her EBT card to buy cupcakes for her son to take to his ABA therapy appointment? Good for her. Good for her. Because all the people that are coming for her saying like, oh my God, you should have made them. First of all, to make cupcakes, you're spending at least $10, okay? Because vegetable oil is not cheap. All that stuff, it all adds up. Even a container to take them in, okay? On top of that, running your oven, electricity, gas, all of that costs more money. So now it's equaling out to just buying the cupcakes. The fact that people are like, oh my God, my taxpayer dollars are paying for a cupcake for her son, for his ABA good. I'm glad that there are a lot of people on this app standing up for her, like myself, because they're cupcakes. They're cupcakes. Who gives a... I'm just saying, you guys are crazy, but good for her. Good for her. And I love how she's standing up for herself, and she doesn't care, and good for her. She shouldn't care.
So it's a man on here that's upset because a lady took $27 of her EBT money to use it to buy cupcakes for her child's school. At this point, I don't give a damn what people use their EBT for as long as they can feed their children. He said that she could go and get the ingredients used to cook the cupcakes and cook them at home to bring them to the children at school. I guess he's saying it would save money, it's more healthier. But let me ask you a question. This lady probably working. Who in the hell got time to be at home cooking and all this stuff homemade like that from scratch? I tell my mom this all the time. She fussing me a lot because I get stuff already cut up and pre-made and cook it because I'm working. A lot of times moms ain't got time to sit up there up on no stove and cook and watch stuff because they're at work. And then another thing, a lot of schools don't allow you to bring home cooked stuff from home. They'll take a chance from it with it coming from a store or a restaurant or something like that. But they don't like you to bring stuff home cooked to school to give to other kids since COVID. I thought you knew that. But you got to be a miserable man to sit up here and worry about a woman. I don't care if it's clickbait or what. Whatever she decided to spend them $27 on with that EBT, so be it. If she wants to make sure that her kids don't feel left out by spending $27 on some cupcakes for a school event, who cares? We got bigger things to worry about than one lady spending $27 on some cupcakes. I hope she bought 2 dozen of them, 3 dozen of them, took to the school. And I hope them kids had a good time. And I hope her children slept good at night knowing that their mama sacrificed once again to make sure that her children had what they needed to go to school and nobody picked on them. We got a lot of stuff to worry about. You don't know what kids go through when they go to school. That at least made them feel confident enough that their mama figured out how to get those cupcakes to school, because that's probably what the teacher asked them to bring. Y'all stop and you shut up, because you a miserable ass man.
You know, a part of my consensus with this whole social experiment, by being very open and honest about our current situation, I think the reason why it's triggering so many people and they're angry is because we are truly a reflection of what they could end up dealing with one day. Oh, you have tattoos, you have jewelry, you have a nice car. Why are you on benefits? Maybe because we acquired those things when we had the means to, and because the way the world is, all of us, are a couple paychecks away from being homeless. And the fact that we've went from being in a very comfortable life to now needing assistance, it's showing people that they could be next. And I think that's why so many people are getting mad about the fact that I'm out here being very open and honest and not ashamed, like so many people say, that I should feel embarrassed about needing help, when that is quite literally a part of the Whisper campaign that was started many, many years ago. And that is a topic for another video because it is far too much information for me to simply fit in here.
That mom that went and used $27 of her EBT to buy birthday cupcakes for her son so she could pass it out at his ABA therapy session? Absolutely not. I'm so enraged by that. Even though I only pay about $50 or so a year in taxes that go towards food stamps, if I make $100,000 a year, which, let's be honest, I don't. And I'm not at all upset that the grocery store is charging $27 for cupcakes, or the fact that that said grocery store most likely isn't paying their employees a livable wage so that those employees probably have to be on food stamps. No, I'm more outraged that a mother is out here trying to make her son feel special on his birthday. I don't care if the grocery store CEO is raking in millions, maybe even billions of dollars in profit, and they're not paying their fair share in taxes. I don't care about that. I am upset about that mom making her son feel special on his birthday. Somebody please think of the children.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. You don't spend it right.
Excuse the fact that my face is stained. It's from my Halloween costume. But before I get into the nitty gritty of this, I just want to talk about how this person is upset that a child had cupcakes on their birthday. I don't know how to tell you this, but yes, even poor children deserve to feel nice on their birthdays. Poor people in general deserve to feel nice and have nice things. There are also schools and programs that do not allow homemade food to be brought in for safety reasons. But that being said, let's get into the nitty gritty of the video.
$27 worth of cupcakes? I'm going to argue you can buy flour, brown sugar, eggs, and butter to make that all at home for significantly less than $27.
So I wasn't sure if we were talking about making the cupcakes from scratch or using some type of box cupcake, so I did the math for both. So I looked up a recipe for homemade vanilla cupcakes, and then it allowed me to actually shop the recipe. And then I just used the Kroger option because I don't really know where she lives, and this is pretty local to me. And homemade, it will cost $61.73. Now that doesn't include the amount of time she would need to take to make these cupcakes. And we all know that time is money. And it also doesn't take into account whether or not she has the tools necessary to make the cupcakes. So for example, the pans that would be needed, they usually cost about $5 to $6, and she would probably need 2 because they only make 12 cupcakes at a time usually, and to cut down on time, she's going to want to put the cupcakes in at the same time. So go ahead and add about $9 or $10 to this total, bringing it up to about $71. And then she'll probably need a whisk. You can get those for maybe like $2-3. So go ahead and add $2 or $3 to make it about $74. Now she's going to need a little cupcake decorator, and I found one for like $10. So go ahead and add that to the total, which is going to make it about $84. And again, this does not take into account the time. So then I was like, okay, maybe he's talking about box cupcakes, right? So I looked that up, a simple little funfetti one, and it is $18. Now I looked it up, and this makes about 24 to 30 cupcakes, right? That's fine, $17, $18. But then you have to, again, add the tools needed, which we already calculated would be about $23 extra. And that's going to take the total up to $41 before we even take into account the time needed to make all of this. We also have to take into account that even box cupcake mix needs other items. So oil, for example, is going to be about $3. Eggs are pretty expensive right now, so they'll probably be about $8. And icing is going to be about $1 or $2. And taking all of that into consideration, that's about $54. And again, this doesn't include the time it takes. Even if we assume she has all of the tools needed to make this, you can take away the $23, and that's still $31. So to be clear, both of them cost more than just buying the pre-made $27 worth, and neither of them account for the time that it takes to make the cupcakes in the first place. Regardless of all of that, people on EBT, people who are poor, deserve to have nice things. Children who are poor deserve to feel nice on their birthday. The idea that they don't know how to spend it right is not about concern. It is literally about control. It's not about helping families eat. It's about deciding who gets to feel human and who doesn't.
To the woman who spent $27 on your EBT to buy your kid cupcakes for him and his ABA therapy group, I'm glad. I hope he had a great time. Sincerely, most level-headed Americans and people. Happy birthday to your little one.
This is why I have him blocked.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. You don't spend it right.
Mind you, he has all of this smoke for a working mother of two who was married to a disabled veteran that was wrongfully terminated from his job earlier this year. Rather than spend the money on themselves, this lady and her husband went without food for a few days just so that their son could have the cupcakes on his birthday so that way he could feel extra special and share those cupcakes with his friends. And somehow that makes her irresponsible because she is a prime example of how people abuse food stamps, right? Because according to him, she should have made them from scratch to save money. First of all, I have no issues with my tax dollars going towards funds that ensure that people, women and children and everybody gets to eat. I'd rather it go towards that than useless wars and, $250 million ballrooms, but who's checking for that? Number two, with the cost of groceries these days, she definitely came out cheaper just buying the cupcakes for a one-time special occasion instead of buying all of the ingredients separately. Also, a lot of schools and businesses don't even want you bringing homemade stuff anyways due to sanitary reasons, and also people need to be able to read ingredient labels so that way they know what's in the food in case people have allergies. My final thoughts on this topic is that y'all want people who need government benefits to survive to be the bad guys and villains in this society so bad, and I am not falling for the propaganda, especially when they use their money to buy junk food and sweet treats to celebrate milestones like everybody else. What are we even talking about here? This idea that poor people or people in need should suffer and get it out the mud to enjoy the simple luxuries and pleasures in life like everybody else is absolutely insane. And to imply that you don't feel bad that people are going to potentially go without food during the holiday season is actually inhumane. Anyways, good job, Mama. You're doing a great job.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 on cupcake for her autistic son's birthday.
I'd rather spend $27 of my tax money for a little boy to have cupcakes for his one special day than to use my tax money to provide 8 yachts to a rich, corrupted elite. I would much rather have $27 of my tax money go towards cupcakes for a little boy's birthday party than I would a corrupt politician on either side of the two-party illusion send billions and billions of dollars to other countries while our own citizens is struggling financially. And a FYI, the Mama Nation wishes that little boy a happy birthday.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. You don't spend it right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Cupcake Police. This deputy right here has found a violation. Somebody dared to celebrate their child's birthday with cupcakes. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Because clearly in his mind, cupcakes are not for poor people or people who are on food assistance. It's only for the rich. I bet you're pro-life, but you don't care about the quality of that life. That life has to be miserable because they're born poor. Instead of worried about these corporations who aren't paying people a livable wage, you'd rather worry about the mom who is giving her child cupcakes for his birthday. We could be worried about much bigger things: the environment, the constant threats to democracy, the possibility of healthcare premiums rising, or people losing their healthcare, people getting laid off or working without pay, rising cost of groceries and gas, and every single thing else. But your biggest concern is a child getting some cupcakes?
Well, look who's taking the heat now. Ain't you the same guy who took one of my stories that clearly had hashtags on them, ran with it, got almost 7 million views talking shit about me? Yet here you are, a real life opinion. Your real opinion is that moms and kids should not spend $27 to buy their kids cupcakes for their birthday. But let's not get anything twisted. He would also be the same one to parent shame you if you didn't buy your kids something for their birthday snack at school. Because that's all he does. That's his entire page, is parent shaming people. Like, imagine only getting attention for talking about EBT, and now you're on the internet proceeding with it so people keep talking about you. Well, you got what you wanted, buddy. How do you like being on that side of TikTok? Because you just did that to me and felt no need to tell anybody that my hashtags say I tell real stories, not my own. This man has no kids. He probably will never have kids. Yet he has an opinion on everybody else's kids. Everybody's kids. It's given I'm projecting because my mom didn't buy me $27 cupcakes.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November.
It doesn't matter. EBT is for food. She used food. And then you go on in the video and say, well, why didn't she just buy the ingredients? Why does it matter? She bought store-bought cupcakes. As an autism mom, we don't know what type of battle that woman is fighting. We don't know what that woman is going through day in and day out with her child. She made an executive decision for her child to celebrate her child's birthday, and you want to sit here and make a think piece on why this is not what food stamps is supposed to be used for. Why not? Why do y'all hate kids so much? The kid is happy. I'm sure her child and her child's friends at ABA are happy. Y'all want to see children hungry and miserable. For what? It's her child's birthday. She bought cupcakes. So what? So what? Did your mother not love you enough? I'm so sorry that you are offended by a mother using her food stamps to buy cupcakes for her autistic child. What? Touch grass immediately.
I cannot get over this shit, bro. Out of all the things that taxpayer money is used for, you draw the line at $27 in cupcakes. I can't even begin to understand what the fuck going on. The little nigga can't have cupcakes. Usually I'm the type of person that can like look at stuff from other people's perspective and like, yeah, like I can kind of understand. I've been trying to understand this shit for the past 2 days and I still can't. Just think about how crazy of a concept of like what they are suggesting. Like, yeah, I mean, you can get some SNAP benefits. Like, yeah, you can eat, but it's gotta be some bullshit. Like, yeah, you can get some food, get some protein, but I don't like the fact that you're eating Oreos right now. You should be suffering. Nigga, did I just catch you enjoying yourself? Like, bro, what? As if you want to be in that situation, bro. Like, I just don't understand that. And yes, obviously, some people do take advantage of the SNAP benefits, bro. But that is not majority of the people. And even if hypothetically this family was taking advantage of the SNAP benefits, if my $27 went to a little kid having an enjoyable birthday party, that's $27 well spent. And the craziest thing about it, dude is still online right now defending his point as if he's right. As if all these people at the top aren't taking advantage of all of us. As if taxpayers' dollars don't get spent on bullshit all the time. But you draw the line at a little kid spending $27 on cupcakes. That is fucking insane. But if it was a dog, though, man, let me chill.
So what this man is literally saying is, as long as it is the taxpayers' money getting EBT and the rest of that, you're not supposed to use it to actually celebrate your son. You're not supposed to use it to give him cupcakes. In fact, it should have even been better that you just get flour and bake it yourself in less than $27 and so on and so forth. That thing he said is actually not a bad idea, right? It's actually not a bad idea, but where the bad thing is actually coming is the fact that you are pissed off that your tax paying money is what they are using to celebrate a child. I think that's where all of this is landing into. You're pissed off, you're mad, you don't want it. You don't even want that child to celebrate because, yeah, his parents are on SNAP benefit, they're on EBT, blah, blah, blah. You don't want that child to experience what you as a taxpayer, what your children as a taxpayer is actually experiencing. That is where the bad thing is coming from. If you would have just done that video advising her on, okay, I don't feel really bad, but I think maybe if you should have baked it, it would have been more lesser than just getting $27 for cupcakes each and so on and so forth. And a lot of people actually came for this particular guy because at the end of the day, it is looking more like you don't want anything concerning children to actually have progress. You only want to be selfish because you are the one paying tax. It is painful to some that, yeah, their tax money actually have to go for cupcakes instead of buying food, buying real food for children. Like there are different videos that we see online, and sometimes I ask myself, if this is what you're using your SNAP benefit to buy, honestly, it's not too encouraging, because you see some moms where they go to the extreme of using their cupcakes money, blah blah blah, to buy things that at the end of the day they're not even getting any reasonable food for their children to eat. So you now start wondering, from the first day of the month to the last day of the month till you receive another benefit, your children will literally be eating snacks, canned foods, and so on and so forth. Nothing fresh to prepare, nothing special, nothing extra, and of which you hardly see it in most of these black folks videos. So it's just a whole lot, honestly. And that is why I feel like a lot of children are getting malnutrition or and so on and so forth. But as long as this is concerning children celebrating, I don't think I am sad that these kids are actually celebrating. I'm not sad that that the boy, the mom have to get cake for her child to celebrate. I think it's actually a great idea for me. I don't know. Because anything I'm doing, despite the fact that these white folks can be really annoying, despite the fact that this white folk can actually bring a particular video so that we can just talk or make it a clickbait because they want to see reaction from black folks, I feel like when it's regarding or concerning children, I really do not have any problem with that, especially when it is relating to birthday, putting a smile on a child's face. I think for me is great. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think what this mom actually did, do you think this is actually a great idea of she spending $27 buying cupcakes, or do you think it's a very bad idea? I just want to know your take from it. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And yes, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.